Hi, Haley. How you doing? Okay, so I think there's some misunderstanding here, a little bit of a misinterpretation of exactly what is due for this assignment. So if we jump over to this page right here, week two, project two, mobile app prototype begin, we can see what's due. Okay, so you need to ideate on the problems. So define the problem and the application is trying to solve for your ideal user. I'll get into that in a second. Now, you need to establish your personas in at least one scenario. You need to create wireframe sketches of all screens. You need to create a storyboard of the scenario based on the personas. And then you need to create paper prototypes, and those should be in place for testing, which we will start very soon. Okay, so what do we have here? Basically, it looks like you're just depicting the first 3 pages. Okay, and that's fine, but we have that right here. So these are just kind of a depiction of the kind of flow chart of what you're going for, right? But these aren't actual pictures, depictions of the actual screens. If these are, I'll get into that in an example in 1 second. But at this point, I want to mention that don't forget everything that was included in week one's requirements should be included in your process book for week two. Subsequently, everything that's included in week three's process book should include all of the requirements from week one and week two and week three. Okay, then week four, you would include all the requirements from week one, two, three, and four, so that we're actually showing a depiction of the ongoing process. Okay, so it's really, really important. Let me go through an example to show you kind of where we've gone wrong a little bit. So this is the Waste Not app, and this is actually a really great example, and this is available for you to review right over in the course announcement, specifically an announcement called Week 2 Assignment Examples. There's another example in there that's just as effective, but I think this is one of the most effective examples I've seen based on previous submissions from students in prior classes. So here's what we have, Waste Not app. Now, again, this is the process book. So this is what we have. So in the problem, that's the definition of the problem statement, the solution. These are all based on what was due in week one. Then we have the 3 main features and functions, again, due from week one. Then we have the target market, including demographics, needs, behaviors, and values, again, from week one. And then we have the competition, again, that's from week one. Note there's 2 competitors here, and each one has the pros and cons. All right, now we need to establish personas, right? I recommend 3 personas. A persona is a depiction of an individual that is in a good position to use your app and is representative of the target audience. As I said, I recommend 3 personas. Once you set up your personas, note each one has age, demographic information, occupation, and a brief bio. Once you set up your 3 personas, you're going to use one of those 2 personas to establish a scenario. What a scenario is you take one of the individuals from your personas, you put them in a situation, and the scenario should depict where the user is and what they're doing when they confront a problem, and also how using your app would address that problem. Okay, so the scenario is based on what? The scenario is based, yes, on the persona. Okay, at that point, we need wireframe sketches. Wireframe sketches are very detailed replications to a very high degree. These should be exactly what the screens look like. Okay, and each one should have choices. So each wireframe sketch is depicted to a high degree of realism, exactly what the screen looks like. And then when you're done with all of your pages, note this one has 12 pages that is depicting in the wireframe sketches. At that point, you cut those out. Okay, and then you assemble like a fake phone right here, which you use as your interface. There's a hole cut in the middle to depict the screen. Then you would start your user testing based on those screens from your wireframe. So what you would do is, okay, here's your opening screen. So you would say to the test subject, okay, where would you click on this opening screen to set up your account, to establish your username and your profile and your password? So they would show, they would click, and then what you would do if they get the answer right is you would take the screen, the sign-up screen, slip it in the phone, then ask them their next question. Once you're done setting up your account, where would you click to perform this task? Okay, so your user testing should have a series of tasks associated, and the paper prototypes are an easy way to switch the screens out so that you are getting the correct answers based on the way you have this set up. If you're getting incorrect answers, that's an indication that the actual pages should be addressed. Okay, so that's where we're at, and that's what we need. That's where we need to be. So again, we're not anywhere near there right now, and I don't mean that to sound discouraging at all. I just really want you to understand where we need to be. Again, what's due for week 2 is right here. Week 2, project 2, mobile app prototype begin stage, right here. This shows everything that's due. So you really want to pay attention to these assignment pages to make sure that you understand the deliverables associated, since after all, that's what will be graded on. Okay, so again, let's really start working on this, and let's get this to a point where we can really start getting these paper prototypes ready for testing. Okay, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. Thank you very much.